Okay, so for tonight, our topic will be business process methodology, an introduction to Six Sigma. It's the same topic we discussed in last Tuesday, but mabilis na pasada lang naman. And when we say business process methodology, kung naalala niyan, it's any method that involves in improving the process. Kaya nga, business process methodology, the process of doing business. And as I mentioned a while ago, the process of doing business is more of the face-to-face. Nasa operational side yan. Dito where the action happens. Kumbaga sa example lang to sa mga fast food chains, sa restaurant, sa McDo, all the plans of the CFOs, CEOs, yan, from the higher ups, strategic man, international, would not come to flesh if it not were for the people in the front line. If it not were for the people na nasa counter, who made the food, who delivers the food. That's the process of business. So, yun din ang challenge. Even though kahit gaano kaganda strategy from a top level, kung hindi naman maganda yung delivery, kung hindi naman maganda yung pagkakaintindi, more importantly, kung hindi rin maganda yung pag-evaluate on how to improve, everything falls into places. Kaya dito papasok ang Six Sigma for tonight is one of the many ways of improving the business process. Okay? Sige. Yan, business process improvement methodology. So, yung mga yan, it's a general umbrella, pangkahalatang tawag sa mga kahit anong technique o method that involves on efficiency and effectiveness. Other example, Kaizen, kung narinig nyo na yung Kaizen. Okay, pag sinabi natin Kaizen, it's a way, it's a Japanese, it's a Japanese philosophy that involves on asking, how can we improve 1% at a time? So it's not fast, definitely, but it's very consistent and it's very disciplined. 1% at a time in a day. And when you compound that, what? 77% in a week? How many percent in a month? And of course, how many percent in a year? Yun ang Kaizen. Pag sinabi natin leaning, as the term leaning means, nagbabawas tayo ng baggages ng mga pabigat. When you try to lean out your business, you're trying to remove the redundant, yung mga nagpapabigat sa business mo. Ano ba yon? Maybe these are extra steps. Maybe these are wasteful items that we buy, wasteful process that we do. Leaning, sa madaling salita, pinapapayat natin yung sistema para maging mabilis at efficient. And of course, Six Sigma, yung pag-uusapan natin later on, when you talk about Six Sigma, it's a way to reduce the errors out of 1 million opportunities para sa mga nag-attend ng Tuesday, out of 1 million opportunities, you are only allowed to make 4 to 3 mistakes. So, 1 million na opportunities, 4 to 3 mistakes lang ang pwedeng mangyari. Pero syempre, that's a dream come true. Some businesses are not like that, di ba? Minsan 50-50 pa nga eh. It's a good day or a bad day. Pero if you do something, to improve your business process, such as Six Sigma, you go to 1 million over 3 to 4. Okay? And of course, TQM. That's the subject that we take on. TQM is also a business process improvement methodology, pero in this case, pangkahalatan, hindi lang siya sa operations. Mataas siya, from department siya to strategic. But nonetheless, it's a methodology. Okay? Ayun. So, mga yan, business process methodologies, it typically addresses specific measurable problems such as errors, bottlenecks. Pag sinabi nating bottlenecks, yun yung mga lugar sa proseso ng business kung saan nagkakaroon ng traffic, kung saan nagkakaroon ng tigil. Okay, that's called bottlenecking. So, ini-improve natin yan para mabawasan yung traffic, para mabilis din ang daloy. An example of something like that is leaning. Yung leaning, yan ang focus nila. It looks at continuous incremental improvements with employee involvement. That's TQM, yung napag-usapan natin. And with employee involvement, hindi lang siya involved sa operations. Even employees from other departments, kunwari from sales to customer service to production to even inventory kung meron, lahat yon under the umbrella of improving them. Okay? Yun, some focus on projects with a clear start and an end goal, such as Six Sigma or Lean. Ibig sabihin, may specific time frame. May SMART, kung naalala niyo yung SMART. In 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, dapat magawa natin to. Mabawasan natin yung error from 7 out of 10. Kailangan, ano na lang errors natin? 1 out of 10 na lang in the next 1 to 3 months. That's an example of having a clear start and a clear end. Some are ongoing and culturally embedded, such as Kaizen and TQM. Pag sinabi nating ongoing, kahit tapos na yung project, ano na siya, naging way of thinking na siya. We find ways to improve, not just on our weaknesses, we improve on our strengths. We make opportunities out of our strengths. We try to remove threats out of our weakness. At dahil culturally embedded siya, it's a way of thinking. Okay? Hindi lang siya nagre-rely sa may-ari. Nagre-rely din siya sa mga tao, sa mga empleyado. Ganyan sila mag-isip. Ganyan yung paraan ng pag-isip nila. Ano kaya pwede kong gawin para mag-improve ako at yung entire business namin? So that's a long-term way of putting business process improvement pagdating as a culture. Okay, example, Kaizen and DQM. Pero yun na, ang focus natin for tonight, Six Sigma. Okay, quick history. Balikan ko lang as I mentioned So bonus na to para sa mga nag-absent, pero balikan ko lang para sa mga present. Six Sigma, yun na nga, in 1980s, a company called Motorola who focused on manufacturing telecommunication technology during that time, mga radios, cellular devices, anything na related sa ganun. They faced high defect rates. Ibig sabihin, may mga ginagawa silang produkto na sira, hindi gumagana, or substandard. Okay? Why? Because in hindsight, they realized that it was about process variability and inconsistent practices. Tuwing Lunes, ganito ginagawa namin, very good. Pagdating ng Tuesday, very, very good. Pagdating ng Wednesday, very, very bad na. So, may nangyayari sa paraan ng pag-produce, hindi siya consistent. Paiba-iba siya. What are the factors? They don't know. But definitely, they could tell na it's a matter of process variability. Okay? Lalo na if you have a very big company such as Motorola who operates in different locations in the world, malay mo, sabi ko nga sa kanila, iba yung Motorola sa Amerika, iba Motorola sa Europe, sa ibang bansa, iba yung standards na ginagawa nila. And who's to say who's right or wrong, right? So yun ang na-determine ng Motorola in the 1980s. So this one guy called Bill Smith, he's a very smart guy. He introduced Six Sigma. Pero wala pa yung pangalan ng Six Sigma during that time. So ang ginamit niya, how was he able to know that there were problems in practices? Okay, he was able to do that because he used statistics. Madali sila, statistics and also analysis. He used root cause analysis. Talagang dinisect niya saan ba madalas nangyayari yung problema. And now that we've identified them, how do we validate and verify na dun na nga? He used statistics. And with statistics, you use numbers. Anytime that you use numbers, you're able to measure. When you can measure, you can categorize. Categorize meaning ano ba yung mataas, ano yung mababa, ano yung average, mean, median, mode. And when you can describe, categorize using numbers, you can also predict. Okay, so ginamit niya yung paraan na yun using statistics to be able to predict din, to validate kung saan ba nanggagaling. And yun na nga, when he used that, he was able to identify the problem, okay, which was inconsistent practices in retrospect. And when he did this led to significant cost savings and earned Motorola the Malcolm Baldrige Award in 1988. Cost saving is in the sense na yung effort nila to improve the business, hindi siya sabog-sabog. Hindi nila sinubukan ayusin lahat. As I mentioned, when you try to fix everything, you're not fixing anything. They were able to specify what the problem is, which were the practices, and by being able to specify, doon sila nag-focus ng paraan how to improve that. And by doing this, dahil gumana, best practices sa Motorola, they won this award. And more importantly, they were able to package this method na ginagawa niya and also apply this to other businesses. So yun na nga. As of the 90s, other industries such as those in the manufacturing, as I mentioned, sa GE, sino pa ba gumagamit nito? GE, sa military, they also use that. In medical, use principles such as Six Sigma. Analyzing, determining where the problem is, measuring them, and when you measure them, you try to improve. Okay? Pero itong improvement, hindi basta-basta. You improve strategically, and when it works, you try to control them over time, which I'll explain naman later on. Yeah. So again, what makes Six Sigma different? Okay? Defect reduction, as I mentioned, targets fewer than 3.4 defects per million. Wow, that's a dream come true. ensuring near perfect performance, 99.99% na maayos. And remember, in certain industries such as military, o kunyari, nagpo-produce ka ng bala, yung bala na pinroduce mo, kailangan sigurado lahat gumagana yan kasi it's a matter of life and death. In the medical industry, yung gamot na pinoproduce mo, kailangan 99.99% na gumagana kasi again, when we talk about lives, yung gamot na ininom ng isang tao who was dependent on that, hindi gumana, well, mahirap na magkamali. So, yun ang ginagawa ng Six Sigma when it comes to that. Right? Again, it uses statistical tools. One technique, particularly the IMAC, which I'll introduce again later, and other statistical methods for in-depth process analysis, mga t-test, post-test. Pag sinabi natin pre-test, post-test, or t-test, we measure from point A, lalo na nung nagsimula, and then we measure from point B. And if we determine na may pagbabagong nangyari, then we could tell the treatment that we administer was effective. Kung walang nangyaring pagbabago, o di, hindi gumana. But hey, pag hindi ba gumana, does it mean, is it failure? Guys, pag hindi gumana ang isang test, does it mean na failure siya? Anyone?
No,
Opo? Bakit opo?
no, sir.
No. Okay, bakit no, Miss Crystal?
Christine po.
Ay, Christine pala. Iba pala, Crystal. Miss Christine. Sorry, Miss Christine. Bakit no?
Parang kasi sir, doon mo malalaman kung ano po yung dapat na i-improve kapag nag-try ka tapos nalaman mo po yung mali. Na
Tama.
mali kayo.
Tama. You know what works, you know what doesn't. Okay? So, importante din yan eh. So, sabi na nga nila, if you're planning to chop a million trees, sige, if you're planning to chop a million trees, and nahihirapan ka, maybe the problem are not the trees. Maybe yung palakol na ginagamit mo, hindi mo hinasa ng maayos. So, what does that mean? Pag hindi gumagana isang methodology, it's a reminder for you to improve on the methods. Okay? So, tama ka, Miss Christine. And again, going back to Six Sigma, what makes it special? Kasi may mga clear roles para sa mga nag-attend on Tuesday na pag-uusapan natin yung mga belts sa Six Sigma. May black belt, green belt, and yellow belt. Ako, as I mentioned, I am a yellow belt pursuing my green belt. So every time na magtaas ka ng belt, every 1 million, umuunti na lang yung dapat na defects. Ako, hindi ko alam kung anong expectation nila sa akin sa yellow belt. But of course, just like martial arts, when you improve your belts, gumagaling ka sa technique. Hence, itong ginagawa natin tonight, kahit din sa mga nakapag-attend nung last week, importante na ma-practice tayo ng ma-practice. Okay? So, ewan ko lang kung mauulit yung pa ba ito in the future, pero sana magamit natin yung techniques natin tonight, kung hindi man sa business, para din sa personal life natin. Yun na nga, continuous improvement, right? Focuses on sustaining improvements over time, not just short-term fixes. Okay? It's more about the discipline. It's more about the character that you create than the outcome. Sabi nga, it's more about than the practice than the product itself. Okay? So yun na nga, kahit hindi man siya naging super effective, pero once everyone buys into improvement, okay, mas committed na tayo in improving in the future pa rin. Yun yung goal natin. Ang goal natin ay hindi lang takpan ang butas, pero maging goal natin na every time na bago pa lang magkabutas, as a culture, we were trained to prevent problems pa lang. Okay? We were trained to determine the sources of other potential conflicts before they could happen. So yun ang maganda sa Six Sigma if it becomes a culture, a way of thinking. Ayun na nga, customer business focus aligns improvements with customer satisfaction and business objective. So ito na nga, next. What is DIMAC? So para sa mga hindi nakapunta, mabilis lang, quick definition na naman. DMAIC, okay, is simply define what the problem is. Ano ba yung problema? Okay, usually this would come from the employees themselves, from the customers, any type of feedback. Doesn't have to be very measured. Ano lang, basta napapansin nyo lang, by hindsight, by obvious way that you could see, may problema. Okay? And then we move to measure. We try to measure the problem in a way na kaya natin i-quantify. Again, using KPIs, using metrics, using benchmarks, any numbers that we can assign, that we can measure, that we can improve, doon pumapasok ang measurement aspect. And again, when you measure, you could also analyze, alam mo kung saan mataas, mababa, average, mean, median, mode. When you analyze, you could determine na may pagbabago ba? May mangyayari bang pagbabago kung hindi natin binago? Or may mangyayaring pagbabago ba kung may ginawa tayong something? And next, in DMIC is improve. Of course, improve. Siyempre, pag nalaman mo na yung problema, hindi lang natin tititigan yan hanggang sa mawala. We'll do something about it. Improve. It could be a training, it could be a program, it could be many things except what was causing the problem. Okay? And lastly, control. So, pag may na-implement na tayong improvements, we try to control to make sure na mag-improve siya, to make sure na hindi na maulit ang problema. More importantly, if this technique that we tried, kung naging sobrang ganda siya, maganda yung reception, hey, maybe we could apply it sa other aspect ng business. Alright, so as you could tell, as sa mga nag-attend ng Tuesday, ito na yung part na nag-activity kami. So, magbibigay uli ako ng activity, pero hindi ko na ulitin yung ginawa ko ulit activity. Okay? Sige. So, an example here is TQM online retail business. So, meron tayong online shop sa Lazada. O Lazada talaga, Shopee. O basta online. And it had received mixed customer feedback. Okay? Hindi pa measured eh. Alam natin may mga natatanggap tayong bad feedback. While customers appreciate the variety of products, may mga positive remarks, some say may mga pain points na nare-raise nila. May problema. Okay? What are the problems? Incomplete orders. Kunyari, umorder ng 3, nabigay lang sa kanila 2 or something like that. Customers frequently report receiving orders with missing items. Another problem that they said, okay, delayed deliveries online. It does happen to all businesses, pero ito, talamak ba? Yan. Despite promised timelines, deliveries often arrive several days late. And poor packaging, some products arrive damaged due to inadequate or careless packaging. So ito yung mga problems na identify. Siguro sinabi ng customer verbally, sinulat nila sa customer feedback. Siyempre, nag-rate sila, it can be measured, pero at least alam natin na may problema as a business. And you, as the owner of the business, you have to do something about it. And you decide on the operation side of things. Operations muna tayo. We'll use some sort of Six Sigma method. Okay, we're gonna use DMIC. And first step sa DMIC is define. So, pasok muna tayo sa define phase. Define the problem using a SIPOC diagram. Naalala niyo pa ba yung SIPOC sa mga nag-attend? Taas kamay, sa mga nakaalala pa. Naalala niyo pa? Assume ko na lang na yes. Alright, sige. That's good. And so far may idea na kayo. Ulitin lang natin, pero ito yung case natin. So, highly encourage your involvement. Alright, we use the SIPOC diagram. What is a SIPOC diagram? It's just a fancy term for saying suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, and customers. Yun ang itsura na. Aalamin natin yung process, ano yung mga step-by-step process. Tapos, we try to know the inputs, ano yung input na kailangan sa proseso na yun. Output, ano yung ine-expect na mangyayari. Suppliers, sino yung nagbibigay sa proseso na yun. Customers, sinong tumatanggap. Now, here's the thing. Sa SIPOC, doesn't necessarily mean that you start with the supplier first. Sa SIPOC, you start with the process. You identify the process first, step by step. You enumerate. And later, makikita nyo naman kung paano. So, yun na nga. List down the process chronologically, step by step. Ano ba yung nangyayari? Kunyari, sa operation. Ano ba yung first step when a customer orders? Ano yung last step when a customer receives the item? So, sabihin na natin, in this case, meron tayong 7 steps, or 6, or 5. I don't know. It depends upon your business. And the more that you could not enumerate the step-by-step process, the better. Kasi kung mas marami kang na-identify na steps, mas madali mo malalaman kung saan ba nanggagaling ang problema. Now, once you put down the process, yung gitna, chronologically, step-by-step, alamin mo yung inputs and outputs of each process. So, it's not going from suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, customers, pag ganon, it starts from the middle going outward. Alamin muna natin yung process and then we try to determine the inputs, ano ba yung mga ginagawa sa process na yon, ano yung output, ano yung inaasahan natin na mangyayari pagkatapos ng step na yon, and lastly, we identify the suppliers and customers for each. Pag suppliers doesn't necessarily mean a person, it doesn't necessarily mean a business to business that supplies goods. Suppliers can be anyone that gives in, na nagpro-provide sa step na yun. A customer doesn't necessarily have to be the customer, the paying customer. It's a person who gets the output. Naaalala nyo pa to, class? Sa mga nag-attend? React naman
Yes
kayo
po.
para alam ko.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes
sige.
po.
Alam na, so far, ano na rin naman. So, mas okay na rin na ma-practice natin to. Para din sa mga nag-absent. Oh, so it's inward to out. Alright, so, let's do a sample. Okay, sample tayo, ha? Okay. How do I do this muna? Stop sharing. Share ko lang to, ha? Wait lang, class. Okay. Share the screen. Alright. Sige. So, ito yung SciPoc natin. Kita nyo? Kita nyo naman? Kita nyo yung screen ko? Class? Okay.
Yes, yes
Sige.
po.
So, ano yung business natin? Online shop tayo. Alright, sige. So, sa isang online shop who's into, selling, of course, ano yung first step na kailangan gawin bago natin mapadala tong item na to sa customer? Ano yung first step na nangyayari sa isang online shop? Kung ikaw may online shop, ano yung kailangan na mangyaring first step? Miss Denise?
Hingin yung details po ng customer.
Details ng customers. Pero bago manghingi yung details ng customer, kailangan yung customer muna
Umorder.
exactly. Okay yan, sige. So, the first step, okay, is customer order. Wait lang. Pero nagigets mo na, kasama yan sa magiging step natin, yung sinabi mo, yung details, di ba? Customer
Yes.
orders. Alright, so, now that we've identified the process, we try to determine the inputs and the outputs. Sir, ano ba yung inputs pagdating sa customer orders? Ano yung item na hinahanap natin to fulfill this step? Ano yung hinahanap natin sa step ng customer orders? Ano kailangan natin? Para mag-move on tayo to the next. Yung
Suppliers.
pwede rin supply. Ang hinahanap natin yung order ng customer mismo. The customer order. Diba? Okay. Customer order. Alright. So, yeah. Customer order. So, ano yung output na hinahanap natin? Ano yung hinahanap natin output pag pinrocess na natin yung customer order?
Customer information.
Pwede rin yun. That's also part. Hinahanap natin yun sa outputs. Ano pa kaya? Yung order nila. Of course, yung order nila mismo. Diba? Okay. Ulitan ko lang to. Para kita ng lahat. Alright. Okay. So, sino nagsusupply ng customer order in the process of customer orders?
Customer.
Of course, the customer. Sinong tumatanggap ng customer orders?
Sellers.
Sellers tayo. Sellers. Alright. Okay. So, ganyan na itsura na. We start from the middle. Ewan ko na lang ba't tinawag na sidewalk. Dapat pwede na sana inunan ng limpi para magaling Pero it is what it is. Okay, we start in the middle, the process. The first process, ginagawa natin customer orders. Then we determine the inputs. Ano yung mga necessary things to do for that step to move forward. Outputs, ano yung hinahanap nating outcome. Now, again, as I would like to say, technically wala naman tama, walang mali. Okay, depende yan sa taong gumagawa ng psycho. Depende yan sa nature nung ini-improve mong problem. Depende rin yan. And it also depends on the complexity of what you're trying to do. I'd like to think na simple is better, okay, kaysa sa masyadong komplikado. Pero if it's way too, way too regular, way too unspecified, mahirap na yun. So there's this certain level that we try to hit. Ako, I like to do 1 to 6, minsan 1 to 10 steps, pero ayan na siya, it is what it is. Okay, so number 2 tayo. Once you process the customer order first, ano yung next step kaya if you're in an online business? Nakuha mo yung order, anong gagawin na natin next?
Hingin po yung customer details po.
Customer okay, pwede rin naman. May iba pa ba ang term sa ganun? Customer details, customer information. Sige, lagyan na rin natin. Customer details. Details. Okay, sige, so nag-order na. The next step is we ask for the details. Ano yung mga input required dito?
Name, contact number, locations, orders.
Yes, okay. Sa madaling salita, details na lang. So guys, huwag kayong mag-alala kung yung mga ibang sagot paulit-ulit lang naman. Ang importante dito yung process, hindi umuulit. Kasi kung meron kang operations na may process na umulit, redundant ang tawag doon. Ibig sabihin, may mali sa proseso mo. Pero pagdating sa input, output, suppliers, customers, it's okay kahit umuulit yan. Alright? Sige. So, sige, details na lang lagay ko. Thank you, Sir RJ. Now, once we have those details in customer orders, ano kaya yung output na hinahanap natin para sa next step? So, customer details ang input. Anong output na hinahanap natin? Ang galing na sa customer, papunta na to sa mga seller. Ano kaya? Payment details. That's also one. That can also be one. Pwede natin lagay yun. Payment details. Paano yung detail ng order nila? Pwede rin yun, di ba?
Yes, sir. Yung parang
sir.
confirm kung kukunin ng order.
Oh, yun.
Like last, final.
Tama. Yung pwede rin para malaman din, ano po yung, kasi, na customer order na natin, alam na umorder na sila, customer detail, tapos pwede natin finalize, di ba? Ano yung sinabi mo, Miss Yuki? Yung?
Confirm the final order, sir.
Okay, tama. Let's just say, confirmation. Yan. Customer confirmation. Customer confirmation. Now, depende nila sa organization mo how you confirm. Pero yan na. Ibig sabihin yan, sure na to. Sure ball na umorder na kayo. Alright? Okay, pasok naman tayo sa sa supplier. Sino nagsusupply ng customer details?
Seller po.
Seller?
Customer.
Sometimes, pwede rin na minsan sa element na customer details, pwede rin may sinusupply something ang seller. Kunyari, kung part ng inputs nyo or information about the product, di ba? So, sino magpo-provide ng information? Sellers naman yun. So, again, hindi kailangan ganito ka-simple. Pwede siya maging complex. Pero for the purposes of us doing an example of a SIPO, ito gagawin natin. So, the customer has the input of providing the customer details after they provided the order. For the step of customer process, the outputs that we're looking for are the payment details, the customer confirming, that's an example, alright? Tapos, yung information na to, sino tumatanggap?
Seller.
Seller, exactly. Tama. Okay, sige. Kaya na, meron na tayong customer order, detail. What's the next step pag nakuha na natin yung detalye ng order nila? Sa business natin. Ano yun? Sir RJ?
Payment processing or sir?
Order placement po.
Order placement? Sige, order placement. Pwede rin yun. Okay. Order placement. Siguro yung payment nandun na rin sa order, no? Sa order placement, no? Sige, lagyan na natin. Pag ganun, medyo kailangan pahabain natin. Pero 6 lang yung steps natin. Order placement. Alright, so now that we have the order placement, ano yung inputs for order placement? Ano yung mga kailangan natin informations, items para malagay na natin order placement? Siyempre, yung customer confirmation, dapat naman.
Payment method, sir.
Payment method, well, pwedeng payment. Payment na lang yung payment. Diba? Yung bayad, para yung sureball na ano na. Kasi nag-confirm na eh. Nagbayad na, now we put the order placement. Ano pa kaya inputs na pwede natin ilagay?
Locations po.
Pwede rin locations, pero yung locations na yun, nandun na yun sa customer details eh. Pwede ka rin mag-ask uli ng customer location, pero here's the thing that I'm telling. If you're doing some steps na medyo paulit-ulit din, kailangan ma-take note mo yan, nagkakaroon ng redundancies and errors. So, you have to streamline your steps. Hence, this SIPOC that we're doing. Para malaman din natin na saan tayo nag-uulit-ulit na nasasayang ang oras natin, saan nasasayang yung efforts natin. So, for Claro, gets yun? Gets naman yun? Okay, so yun na nga. Kunin natin yung payment, right? What's the output that we're looking for? Nakuha na natin yung bayad for the order placement. Ano yung output? Ano yung next step nito?
Ship and deliver product.
Customer feedback po.
Feedback agad.
Pack the order, sir.
Ano yun?
Pack the order.
Shipping po.
Pack the order agad. Feedback agad. Paano sa business
Deliver
natin?
na.
Nakuha na natin yung order eh.
Po.
Ti-
Per
ti-
the
ti-
order po.
Siyempre, titignan muna natin kung meron ba tayo ng item. Kung meron ba tayo ng ano. Diba? Natanggap mo na yung order eh. Diba? So, we have to check sa system natin or sa sa warehouse natin kung meron. Actually, dapat nga yung checking of the item, dapat nasa pa yun eh. Nasa siguro third step. Pero okay lang, we'll work with what we have right now. Now na pay na, order placement, ano yung sinabi nyo? Packing the order agad. Bago i-pack, ano pa kaya pwedeng gawin? Yes, Miss Crystal.
Sir, ready the item po. Or
Ready the
order.
item is one. That's an output. Okay, order placement, ready the item. Siguro kung when we say kung may added system ka pa ba, yung parang kumbaga sa fast food, yung may, anong tawag doon? Pag kunyari may nag-order, tapos bago mapunta sa kitchen,
Preparing po.
may parang
Preparing po.
may information na ito yung kailangan, alam mo yun, yung parang may papel na sinasabi na auto mo i-prepare natin. Pero sige, prepare the item. Preparing the item can be something formal. It could be a token. May mga order tokens po. Mayroong mga yan. Meron na pag nakuha na agad, prepare na agad. Pero if you can find ways to track the movements, mga POS system, kung familiar ka sa mga ganyan point of scanning system, mas madaling malaman kung saan naiipit ang isang process. Pero sige, okay. So nabayaran na, the process order placement. The next, ang output na hinihintay natin dito is a preparation for the item. Sino nag-supply ng payment?
Customer.
Customer. Okay. Sige, so as we move along, who prepares the item?
Seller.
Seller.
Alright. So, para sa mga absent, as you could tell, it's simply moving from left to right. Pag ganun tayo, mula dyan, papunta dito, papunta dyan, papunta dito, pag ganyan. Gumagalaw tayo. Nasi step by step na siya. Okay. So, fourth step, once we've ordered, once we have the details, okay, customer orders, nakuha na natin detail, na-place na natin yung order, ano kaya yung magiging next step?
Packing of orders.
Yes, pack. O, sige, lagyan na natin. Pack the item. Pack the item. Yun na lang. Sige, lagyan na natin. Pack the item. Ano yung inputs to pack the item? The item. Yung product. The product itself. Yan, the item. Siyempre, wala kang ipapack na item kung wala yung item. That's an input. Okay? Ano yung output?
Deliver.
Hindi pa deliver. Next step na yun. Na-pack na yung, ang goal natin sa process to pack the item. What specific thing are we expecting to security of the items? That's also one that could be part of the process. Lagyan na lang natin packed item. Pack, by spelling ko, packed item. The item now na-pack na. Okay? It could be simple as this, it could be very complex, pero as you could tell the flow, the raw material, the process it needs to undergo, and the output. Okay? Yung item na hindi pa nakapack, pero for sure may order placement na, may customer details na, now we pack the item in regard to kung ano man yung item na yun, sinong tatanggap, Lazada ba, Shopee, or whatsoever. Syempre, iba rin yung paraan ng pack for that item. What's the output? The item itself na nakabalot na. Okay? So, sino nagsusupplier ng item?
Seller po.
Pwede rin seller o kung gusto niyo mag-specific, baka other businesses, kung yung item wala sa inventory nyo, kailangan nyo kunin sa sa ibang tao. Sige, lagyan natin seller. The seller itself, kung ikaw mismo naka-ready na sa inventory mo. Or maybe, kailangan mo pang kunin sa iba. That could be another business. That's also one. Alright? So, yun na nga. The seller gets the item. The next step is to pack the item, and when it's done, the item is packed. Who receives this? The packed item.
Delivery rider po.
Delivery, that's good. Sige, lagyan na natin delivery. Delivery rider. So, depende yan. Pwedeng delivery rider, pwedeng, actually, tama, book the rider, exactly. O kung yung customer masipag, puntahan ka sa bahay para kunin yung item, pero sana all, pero hindi. Yun na nga, so may delivery item. So what's next? Customer orders, details, placement, pack the item, nabigyan na sa delivery. Ano kaya yung magiging next step? Kapack ni item, na-deliver na. Ano yung next step?
Shipping.
Shipping, pwede. Well, yes, the delivery. Deliver the item. Deliver the item. So, ito natanggap pa lang ng delivery rider. Now, once na natanggap na niya sa customers, nandito na tayo sa next step, which is deliver the item. O, lagyan na lang natin yung item delivery. Para at least ongoing na. Anong input sa item delivery? Is the item, right? Item given, outputs, item received. Okay. Sino supplier ng item given sa item delivery?
Rider po.
Rider, yes. So sinong customer sa sa item delivery?
Customer.
The customer, exactly. All right. Last step na tayo. Once we've done this, na order, may details, may placement, may packing, may item delivery na. Ano kaya yung next step?
Receive na.
Na-receive na, yes. Tama, receive. Customer receives. Customer receive. Item. Okay. Alright. So, anong input when the customer received the item?
Item.
The item, yes, the item. Yun, may check the item din. Yes, that could be part of the step. Check the item kung ano. That could be part of when the customer checks the item they received. Anong tawag dyan? Feedback. Diba? Feedback. Rating, yung nga ganun. That's an output, right? Feedback. Rating. Okay. Alright. Sino supplier ng item? Customer received the item? Customer. Okay. Sino tumatanggap ng feedback rating?
Yung seller.
Seller. Alright. Okay. So, ganito yung issue ng SIPO. And for those na nag-attend noong Tuesday, you could tell na parang ganito nga rin naman. Ito, ibang aspect naman. So, my case in point is that in any processes of whatever, be it your business, be it your life, you could apply some sort of SIPO. Why? Para malaman mo kung ano yung mga steps na ginagawa mo. Masyado bang maraming steps? Masyado bang onte? Are we checking if the steps are necessary? Are we checking if the steps are a bit lenient or inaccurate? More importantly, alam natin yung inputs. Are we getting the right supply in the chain? Or are we not? Are we getting more? Are we getting less? Outputs, are we giving what is expected to us? Suppliers, pwede ba tayong maghanap ng ibang taong pagkukunan o talagang dito tayo nakastick? And also the customers, are we giving what is expected out of us? Alright? Okay. This is good, class. Okay. Balik ko lang sa ano to, ha? Sa slide natin kanina. Alright. Slide 7. Share the slide. Okay. Kita nyo? Kita nyo naman?
Yes po.
Okay, so that's good. Now that we've given an example of a SIPOC, a process, step-by-step process in our business, we've done the define phase. We move on to the next phase of DIMAP of Six Sigma, and that is to measure. Oh, this one is an example, done example na. So iba to, iba yung ginawa natin, but nonetheless, it's a SIPOC. Which one is better? Bahala ako, mas gusto ko yung ginawa natin. But this one is an example. Now, when it comes to measure, we look at each steps and are each steps meeting the expected requirements. Okay? So yun na nga, how do we know if they're meeting the expected requirements? We look at data, we look at KPI, we look at time in motion. Are they doing more wrong than right? So remember, ang problem natin identified, although this one is not measured, sinabi lang ng mga tao, may mga incomplete orders. Yung sabi nila, 4 out of 5 items lang ang natatanggap nila out of the delivery most of the time. May mga delayed deliveries, nalilate, and also the poor packaging. So, nice step na tayo. Isa-isahin natin if they meet standard. For example, did they receive the order? If pag sinabi natin green, yes, we're on time. Mabilis natin nakuha yung online order ng mga clients natin, nakuha natin without other steps. Maybe we're using an application which expedites things. That's good. Kamusta ang payment natin? It's green. Ibig sabihin, yes, we're able to verify the payment on time and accurately. Pero yun lang. Dahil may incomplete orders tayo, na-determine natin na yung pag-check natin sa product availability, baka may kulang. Well, baka may kulang tayong ginagawa. Okay? That's one. Why? Because according to the measures, 4 out of 5 items are only received. Kasi anong nangyayari, accept ng order, pero pag binalikan na natin yung inventory natin, ay, kulang pala tayo nito. Okay? Pero in-accept pa rin natin yung order. Okay? Pack the product kasi one of the identified problems is delayed poor packaging. So that's also one area na meron tayong problem. Okay? Shipping the order kasi sabi na nga sa problems identified, may delayed delivery. So shipping the order, we're not on time. We put that as green. So we just simply do a check and X list. Alamin lang natin kung saan sa steps yung may pinakamatinding problema. And lastly, provide delivery confirmation and feedback. So yun na nga, step by step natin, nalaman natin among the 6, there are 3 steps na nagkakaroon tayo ng problema. Now, what do we do next? We prioritize the biggest problem area. And of course, we cannot simultaneously try to solve all the problems. And even if we did, mahilig kong sabihin, kahit sinubukan natin ayusin lahat ng problema, pag ginagel natin yung lahat, baka wala tayong naayos in the end. So look at these 3 problems. Which among these 3 should be the priority if you were the business owner? Ano yung magiging sa tatlong ito, na-identify natin na ito yung may tatlong problem areas, nasukat natin. Sa tatlong ito, ano kaya yung priority, yung uunahin natin ayusin?
Siguro po yung number 3.
Number 3, which is poor packaging.
Check the product.
Check the product availability. Yes. Miss Denise, ano sa'yo?
Ayun nga, sir, yung availability
Of
ng
course.
product. Kasi nakakahiya naman sa customer.
Exactly.
Tanggap tayo ng tanggap.
Tama yan. So, ngayon okay, so may tatlong problema. Prioritize muna natin yung pinakamalaking problema. Siyempre, iba-ibang steps. Ako napansin ko, yung high value step, madalas mga nasa mga first steps yan eh. Diba? Tapos pababa na. Pero depende sa organization. Pero tama kayo. Ako, again, just my opinion, malaking bagay pag tanggap ka ng tanggap pero wala ka namang maibigay. Okay? Kahit gaano kaganda yung packaging na ginawa mo, kahit na-ship mo man on time, pero kung kulang man yan, problema tayo dyan. So, sige, focus tayo sa check product availability. Right? We've identified that. We've defined the problem. We've measured the problem. Now, we move on to the next step of DIMAC, which is analyze. Yan, okay. Galing nyo ah. Alam nyo na yung sagot. We move into analyze. And going to analyze, sa mga nag-attend, I'm sure familiar na sa ito, we use a fishbone diagram. Sa mga hindi naka-attend nung Tuesday, familiar ba kayo sa fishbone diagram? Yes or no? React kung familiar o hindi. Okay lang na hindi. Kaya ako nagtuturo. Familiar ba kayo? Guys? Familiar? Para alam ko. O, yun na lang. Sa mga nag-attend, so far, naalala nyo pa tong fishbone diagram natin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Mas masaya talaga pag face-to-face. Sabihin ko lang, dagdag ko lang. Baka next term dagdagan ko na yung face-to-face. Pero di bali, unang sabog ko. Okay. So, masaya ako sa face-to-face. But anyway, okay, gagamit tayo ng fishbone diagram. It's also a root cause analysis. Okay, hindi ko na ayos to, food taste issue ko. Ba yan? Pero nalaman na natin na ang pinakamalaking problema is incomplete orders. That's why we do a fishbone diagram to analyze the problem. Yan, incomplete orders. Now, how do we do a fishbone diagram? It's simply a root cause analysis. What is a root cause analysis, sir? Ano ba yan? Yung sagot mo, mas marami pa kaming tanong bigla eh. Iisa-isahin lang natin yung mga dahilan ng problema. At bawat dahilan ng problema, meron pa rin yung maliliit na dahilan. Fishbone nga, di ba? Mula ulo, papunta sa katawan, pababa. Root cause analysis. So, incomplete orders, we try to identify 5 problems. Alright, sige. So, ito tayo ah. Now that we know incomplete orders is our priority problem, what do we do next? We try to give a solution. Alright. Wait lang ha. Okay. Sharing slide. Okay. Kita niyo yung slide ko?
Yes po.
Okay. Sige. So, yun na nga. Para sa mga nag-attend, ulitin lang natin itong step na to. Again, para sa finals exam nyo. We try to look at 5 sub-areas. Bakit kaya naging incomplete ang order? Ano kaya yung mga dahilan? Okay? Sige. Number 1, bigyan nyo ako ng ano. Ano kaya yung potential na dahilan? Ba't kaya may nangyayaring incomplete orders? Yes, Miss Crystal?
Lack of stock po.
Lao. Employees. Lagyan na natin employees. That's 1. Number 2, ano kaya? Inventory management. Number 3.
Climate change.
Ano yun?
Sir, about climate change, I think
Climate
possible.
change. It's also possible, pero subukan natin. Sige nga, patulungan mo nga ako. Paano naging potential problem kaya ang climate change sa incomplete orders? I'm not saying that is wrong. Gusto ko lang mapinta sa utak ko. Bakit kaya, sir?
I think, sir, kapag nagkaroon ng mga like big climate change like typhoon or volcanic eruptions, nakaka-affect po ng mga customers.
That's also one. Yes, yung ano nila, mga environmental change yung nangyayari. Kung basta malaking ano to, bigger scope to. Siyempre, kung nagkaroon ng problema sa mundo, mas interesado pa ba bumili ang mga tao? Ano ba magiging prioritize natin? Kung may inflation na nangyayari, may deflation ng pera, may concern pa ba tayong bumili online kung wala namang pera na pumapasok? Pero dahil nasabi mo na rin climate change, lagay ko na lang environment. Okay ba sa yon? Okay sa yan, sir? Sir RJ? Okay na yan. Sige. Number 4, ano kaya? Yes, Miss Madeline.
Ano rin po yung incorrect documentation po ng seller?
Okay. Incorrect documentation ng seller. So, kung hindi siya sa inventory, siguro sa ano nila yon? Ano ba yung mas maano doon? Ano yung mas mahigit na salita para doon? Lagay ko na lang documentation. Okay ba yan? Okay, documentation. Yun na lang, documentation. Okay sa inyo, Miss Rodeline?
Opo.
Hindi, ito, mas okay. Information gathering. Yun na lang. Okay. Information gathering. Yun na rin yun, documentation. Okay, ano pa kaya? Last one. Last one. Anyone? Come on. So, meron na tayong employees. Baka may kulang sa empleyado. May kulang sa inventory management or the inventory itself. Baka may problema sa environment right now that we don't know. Baka may problema sa paraan in getting the information, kaya may incomplete orders. Ano pa kaya? Dahilan. Yes, Miss Yuki.
Lack of suppliers.
Lack of suppliers. Yun. Pwede rin yun. Ganun na. Good. Okay. Alright. Sige. So, limited muna tayo sa 5. And as you could tell, if you look at the arrows, may isa pang box which is enumerated by 1 and 2. Now that we've tried to get the sub-problems, alamin natin ano pa kaya yung sub-problems within that. So we talked about employees, What about employees that can be contributing with incomplete orders? Ano kaya yung problema sa mga employees? Miss Christine? Tapos si Sir RJ. Miss Christine?
Lack of training po.
Lack of training. That's one. Sir RJ.
Actually, same lang po. Parang lack of orientation, skills po, ganun.
Training, skills, orientation. That's also one. What about the management? Kasi, di ba, technically, empleyado din sila eh. Pwede ba natin masabi na baka may problema din sa management? Di ba? Okay, Sir RJ, ikaw ulit.
Sir, try lang. Baka pumasok. About sa financing, baka sa salary.
Salary? Okay. What about salary? Sige, laliman natin. Okay. Financing, salary. What about salary?
Parang hindi sila tugma sa minimum. Kaya nakakaroon ng problema sa mga employees. Or benefit.
So, parang hindi sila motivated? Parang ganun ba? Or ano? Dahil mababa yung sahod? Okay, sige. Yun na nalagay ko Pero madami kang binato. I like that. Kaya natin isulat yun isa-isa. So, siguro, aside from employees, lack of training, lack of motivation. So, that happens. Hindi lang sa mga ganito. Lalo na kung nasa BPO ka, nasa corporate ka, ang bibong-bibo yung empleyado, pero pag tagal, wala nang gana kasi feel nila na hindi natugma yung pasweldo sa kanila. That can also be an identified problem. And again, the more problems you can identify, that would be very important for the next step. Pero for this one, limitado muna tayo sa kahit saan. Hirap. Well, yun na nga. So, kailangan yung compensation na binibigay mo tugma sa trabaho na ginagawa nila. And also, just my opinion, it's not always about giving money. It's also about giving the right incentives din. Ano yung mga career opportunities na pwedeng ibigay? May mga benefits ba? May mga leadership opportunities ba? So, kung may lack of motivation as a general umbrella, there could be a problem in the compensation system, which one of them is, as Sir RJ mentioned, the appreciation, mababa ang sahod. That could also be one of the problems that we can fix. Okay, inventory management. Ano kaya yung pwedeng maging problema? The contributing factor bakit may problema sa inventory management? Anyone?
Inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
Inaccurate inventory, sir.
Inaccurate inventory. That's one. inventory. So, I'm sure na may mas complex pang word dyan, pero it does happen, inaccurate inventory. Sir RJ,
Usage of unpurposed items, sir. Yung mga first in, first out. Baka nagkaroon ng
okay.
yung mga
Pos,
iba.
mga POS systems nila, no? Mga ganon. Sige. Lagyan nila, anong gusto mo ilagay ko dito? Lack of,
Wait lang, sir.
Pero ang ganda, tama rin yung sinabi mo na it could be a problem na baka wala silang way of determining FIFO, LIFO, mga ganon. Unorganized stocks, that's also one. Yung sa inventory management. Siguro yung sa inventory management, kulang sila sa equipment, sa mga ganon scanning system. Okay yun, lagay ko na. Oh, sige, thank you Sir RJ. Lack of, lagay ko na, POS equipments. Pag sinabi yung POS, yung mga point of scan, yung mga ini-scan, nalalaman natin kung sino ba yung may-expire na, sino ba yung naunang ipasok. Kung naalala niyo yung FIFO, LIFO, last in, first out, mga ganyang klaseng bagay. Malaking bagay din yan, lalo na kung ang mga binibenta mo are perishables, mga pagkain, mga ganun, mga nag-expire. Sige, that's also one. And yun, tama. Sa yung lack of, yung sinabi ni Miss Darlene ba yun, yung sa inventory management. Yung sinabi ka pang may dinagdaga pang isa. Okay. Anyway, sa environment, ano kayang contributing factor sa environment? Ito malawak to, maraming dahilan. O Sir RJ.
Sir, sa fast food kasi, sir, one of, mostly na use is weather, lalo na sa rainy seasons po. Even though, once sa Food Panda po, nag-book si customer ng foods. Then, na-assemble na yung product, pero walang rider na nagki-claim ng booking code. So, nawawalan na. So, even though nagusto ni customer na yung foods, bali si
Wala lang
Jollibee,
rider.
Safety, walang rider. Kami na po mismo yung nagka-cancel ng booking para sa safety po ng booking.
That's good. Yeah, at least may natutunan na ako din sa'yo. So when it comes to environment, may mga sabihin nila natin na uncertainties, yun na lang. Environmental uncertainties. Kunyari, nag-book ka ngayon, tapos yung pala sa dadaanan mo, may nangyayaring rally, may nangyayaring sunog, mga ganong klaseng bagay. Other environmental uncertainties, biglang umulan, biglang nagkaroon ng monsoon, mga ganong klaseng bagay. Again, those things, even though we've identified them as contributing factor to environment, medyo mahirapan tayong ayusin directly. But we could make some sort of training na helps you move around the problem. And, ano na yun, sa future na yun, decide natin. Pero thank you, that's also part of the environmental problems. Sige, number 2, ano kaya mga contributing factors sa environment?
Pwede yung sir, packaging waste.
Waste packaging, that's also good. That's also one. Pwede siyang ilagay sa inventory management. Pero I'd like to know how it's part of the environment. Pwede ba siya maging part ng environment? Pero waste is a problem. For sure, waste is a problem. If waste was a problem, lalagay ko yan sa inventory management. Pwede natin yun. Pero sige, lagay na natin ang waste management here. Waste management. How is environment and waste management related? Siguro the way I think about it is yung warehouse mo, the place where you store your items, that's an environment, right? It's lugar yan, environment yan. And if you have very inaccurate and I'm looking for the right word, inaccurate, very wasteful ka. Very wasteful ka sa pag-manage ng iyong gamit. And that would certainly be a problem within your environment. Masyadong maraming kalat na baka hindi mo na nahanap yung kailangan mong hanapin. For example, masyado na maraming kalat na hindi mo na alam na kung kalat pa ba yung tinatapon mo. Sa madaling salita, hindi mo na ma-manage yung hindi mo na ma-manage yung mismong area where you try to operate your inventory. So far, make sense? Parang ko lang yun na-visualize ko lang yun nung But that's also a problem, di ba? Kasi kumpara sa isang warehouse na malinis, kaysa sa hindi, di ba? Doon na ako sa malinis na warehouse. Diba? And again, your warehouse is also an environment. Information gathering, what could be a problem here? Anyone? POS is also part of information gathering. Pero what could be a problem in information gathering that contributes to incomplete orders? Ako, ang naisip ko dito sa information gathering, maybe you're not asking the right questions. Maybe lack of information. Baka ang tinanong mo lang, kunyari, oh yeah, pag sa ano mo, sa shop mo, yeah, lack of information. Yeah, point of sales information. Ayan, okay, lagay ko na sa lack of point of sales information. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kunyari, sa dashboard mo, sa ano mo, yung item mo, kunyari 5 yung kulay na yan, 5 kulay yan, pero ang nakalagay lang sa dashboard mo, iisa lang, hindi nakalagay lahat. Kung may sizes man yan, hindi mo dinisclose lahat ng sizes. Hindi mo naayos yung ano, yung mismong dashboard mo. So that's also a lack of information, or what's the right word? Lack of information giving, that also could be one. Inefficient yan. User dashboard. Yun. Kung may mga na-experience na kayo sa online shops, lalo na sa ibang bansa, lalo na kung OEM, minsan di nila dinidescribe ng buo yung kulay, yung size, basta may item na lang. Tapos yung pictures na nilalagay nila very generic. So that's in my opinion, yes, sa Amazon, ganyan. That's an inefficient user dashboard. There's a better wording for it. I don't know what is, pero yun ang experience ko. Very inefficient yung ano nila, dashboard nila. Diba? So may pictures lang, tapos yung papakita nilang picture, okay, itong tao na to, kasya sa kanya yung pantalon, pero baka size ano pala yun, hindi nila dinisclose, right? So, syempre, a smart customer would opt to look towards another seller, pero not everyone is a smart customer. Yeah, that's me, including me. Paminsan-minsan, o-order ako ng brown, pero yung kulay is orange pala, pero mukhang brown. Pero, again, that's a problem of an inefficient dashboard. Okay, move on tayo sa lack of suppliers. Ano yung problem? Well, yeah, lack of suppliers. Ano kaya, guys? Anyone? Diversity, lagyan na lang natin. Diversity of suppliers. So, sa madaling salita, kulang. Isa lang naman yung supplier mo. Pag nagkulang yung isa mong supplier, wala siya maibigay sa'yo, wala na, tenga ka na. Hintayin mo ng bago siya magkaroon. So, yun, diversity rin. When I say diversity, tawag dito, diversity, ibig sabihin you're only limited to one type of item. Mas okay din na mas diverse. Lack of suppliers. Any other problems na pwede i-relate natin sa lack of suppliers?
Transportation issues, sir.
Yes, that's one. Logistics, ang ganda nun. That's one. Logistics na hindi galing sa'yo, logistics na galing sa suppliers. Pwede na rin yan sa mga natin. Yung mga delivery riders natin, they're technically suppliers as well. What are they trying to supply? Delivery service. At kung kulang tayo doon, okay, may lack of suppliers tayo doon, tama din ang logistics natin. Thank you, that's good. Alright, so yun na nga. Ito na nangyari. We've defined the problem. One of them is incomplete orders among the many. We've measured them. How did we measure? We used a SIPOC and we tried to look at every supplier. Meron bang labis, kulang, meron, wala. We look at inputs. Meron bang mahigit, meron bang kulang. We look at the outputs. May kulang ba, may dagdag bawas ba? And we look at the customers. Are we trying to provide? And now that we've used SIPOC to measure incomplete orders, now we move to analyze. Hinimay natin. And ito yung mga lumabas sa atin. Now, just like what we did with measure, we prioritize. In this case, kumuha tayo ng listahan, we're gonna prioritize as well. Kasi remember, we want to be specific with the problem that we're trying to solve, that we're gonna prioritize first, para yun ang una nating aayusin. Alright? So, ganun ang gagawin natin. So, kumbaga sa taong may sakit ba, okay, taong may sakit, we try to fix the root cause of the problem than the symptom itself. So, yun na nga, dinadahan-dahan natin. So, sige lang, opinion nyo na, among these, ano kaya yung issue na pwede natin i-focusan agad? priority natin dapat? Anyone? Empleyado ba? Inventory management? The environment? Employees? Yes, employees is one. Now look, wala akong sinasabi na tama o mali. Pero kung ikaw yung may-ari ng business, at least alam mo kung paano ka aatake. O sabihin na natin, yes, environment is a problem. Pero is the weather within the scope of your control? Good Lord, kung kaya mong gawin yun, very good for you. But within the environment, your waste management is, that's also one. Pero dahil na-mention mo na nga na employee is a good way. Kasi, yes sir, totoo naman eh. Because an organization is a composition of 2 or more people. 1 is solo, 2 is a couple, ano yung 3? 3 is an organization. So, pag 3 tao na kayo, it's called an organization. 3 to 3,000 or more, it's called an organization. And without competent people within those collection, you have an organization that is doomed to fail. So, within the problem of incomplete orders, you could choose many dimensions to prioritize, but it's a good way to look at employees, to fix the issues of employees. Kasi ito within something in the scope of our control. Okay? So far, nagigets nyo? Yung takbo? Di ba, si-synthesize naman natin eh. Okay. So, sige, moving on. Sabi ko sa inyo, buti, inulit natin to. Mahirap, no? Sa mga pumasok nung second take na nila to eh. Alright, wait lang ha. Okay. Doon na tayo sa fishbone diagram. Okay. Sige. Alright. Sige, moving on. Share slide. Alright, so ito yung nagawa natin for tonight. So, moving on. Oh, ito, yan. This one is another example. Another fishbone diagram aside from what we did. Pero yun din, no? People, process, materials, technology, environment. Almost the same as what we did. Now, I'm not saying this one is more correct than what we did. Depende pa rin yan sa mga tao na gumagawa ng fishbone. Kumbaga tayo yung pool of experts. Ibang expert yan. Ito yung expert for tonight. Kaya mas gusto ko itong expert for tonight. Ito yung na-identify na problem. People o staff. Diba? Yung proseso nila. Walang order verification system. Order tracking errors. Yung materials na ginagamit nila. Mislabeling of products. Insufficient packaging. Technology nila. Inaccurate stock data. Yung POS nila. System sync issues. Lack of automation. That could be one. Environment, ito pala may environment eh. Disorganized warehouse. Pressure during peak periods, lalo na kung Pasko, dahil napipressure yung mga tao, minsan sumasablay tayo sa orders. Those are many of the causes of orders that is having the effect of incomplete orders. So, yun na nga. We have 5. We try to prioritize on 1 or 2, sana 2 lang, 2 na pwede nating i-improve. So, in this case, tama nga, sabi niyo staff, in this case, people, environment, in this case, yung warehouse na pwede nilang something to improve on. Okay, ikaw bahala kung anong gusto mong piliin. Pero, mas maigi na i-prioritize mo yung uunahin mo. People, people, staff, environment. Now that you've identified them, we move on to the next, which is improve. Improve. So, as you could tell, sa ginagawa natin sa course na to, it's always about knowing what to do to improve, looking at KPIs, the numbers that we're trying to measure, kung may pagbabago bang nangyayari, and to monitor, just to make sure na kung ano man ang ginawa natin, gumagana siya. So, ito na nga. People, staff. Problem area, may inadequate staff training. Sa madaling salita, hindi sila na-train. Lack of supervision in this case. Sa environment, malaking contributing factor sa incomplete orders is disorganizing warehouse, hindi nahanap yung kailangan hanapin, and also pressure during peak periods. So we look at training. Anong training ang pwede natin gawin? And in the past few weeks, we've discussed about training and development as something that is very essential in Six Sigma because, in TQM because TQM involves all the people in your organization having some sort of improvement so that they could contribute to you. So we train people, right? Training, we could train them with product knowledge, order fulfillment, and customer service. It's up to you. That's one of the training that we could do. KPI, how do we measure? We look at tawag dito, accurate training completion and error rate. Kung may training, siguro may mga test tayong ginagawa dyan. 10 out of 10, ilan ba nakuha nila sa test 1, ano nakuha nila sa test 2, ano nakuha nila sa test 3. And hopefully, from test 1 to test 3, may improvement. So, ibig sabihin gumagana yung training na ginagawa natin. How do we monitor? Well, supervisors could assess, reviews, training, and tracking. So, importante na may training, may KPI ka sinusukat, at may parang ka to monitor. The lack of supervision, maybe we could teach them leadership skills. Performance monitoring is very important, lalo na kung manager pala yung problema. Okay, baka hindi aminin ng manager, pero nahuli ng mga empleyado na siya pala yung problema. So, we teach the management how to do some sort of performance training. And sometimes it could be conflict. Sa madali salita, may mga empleyado na nag-aaway na naapektuhan yung business natin. What do we measure? Maybe we could measure some sort of subjective test, employee engagement, 1 out of 10, gaano ka-engage, supervisor ratio, ilang supervisor sa bawat dami ng empleyado, ilan ba? 1:10 ba? Isang manager sa 10 empleyado or mas konti? And task completion time. How do we monitor? And regular check-ins. Now, sa environment, what's the training we could do with this organized warehouse? Yan, mag-provide tayo ng organization safety and inventory management. What to measure? Yan, mga metrics about inventory accuracy, order fulfillment speed, how do we monitor, periodic audits, pressure during break period, peak periods, yan, stress management, time management, and all those things. So, ang punto ko lang naman, pag may nalaman tayong problema sa negosyo natin, okay, we don't try to fix it without having the right data. Kahit ang intention mo, sobrang ganda para sa organization, pero kung ibinigay mo naman lahat at wala ka naman natanggap in the end, o di wow, ano ka, isa kang santo. Isa kang unconditional lover. Kung ibinigay mo lahat, pero nasayang din naman lahat ng binigay mo kasi hindi mo naayos yung root cause ng problema. Kumbaga sa taong may sipon, sinubukan mo lang ayusin yung sipon niya, yung symptom, pero hindi mo alam yung root cause. Now, the root cause could be baka puyat siya, baka ang sama ng diet niya, baka stress siya. And if you are someone who's trying to fix something proactively, not reactively, we fix the root cause. And doing this, right, this Six Sigma, this DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, and improve, we look at the root cause. Now, kung alam na natin yung root cause ng problema, we move into the fifth step, which is to control it. We don't try to control the symptoms, we control the root cause. Alright, so far, nagigets nyo guys? Gets nyo naman?
Yes po.
Okay,
Yes
control. Para sustainable yung ginagawa natin. So, how do we control? Okay, since nalaman natin ang problema is this, we did the training. How do we control? We see if the improvements solve the problem in 1 to 12 months. That's just an example. It's up to you. Kung gusto nyo in 1 to 12 years, it's up to you. 1 to 12 months is usually a good number. Kasi pag binigyan mo ng gamot, hindi agad bukas magaling na yan. Okay? Not unless biogesic yan kay John Lloyd. Pero hindi. Pag in this case, ano lang yan, 1 to 12 months, give it the proper time to sink in, to be digested. Now that you've tried to improve on one problem area, pwede na tayo mag-move to the next. Kasi tandaan nyo, Six Sigma is not just a project thing. It's a long-lasting, sustainable change just like TQM. Now we move on to other identified problem areas. Ano ba yung mga na-identify? Delayed deliveries, poor packaging. We apply the same methods, the fishbone diagram, the improvement, the training that we have to implement, and also the control process. Implement system of improvement even in strength areas. Ibig sabihin nun, ang ganda na ng business mo, hindi ka na humahabol. Ngayon, advanced ka na. Nandoon ka na sa pinapaganda mo na yung kung ano man ang maganda na. So, nandoon ka na sa level na yun. Implement improvements even in other departments, not just in operations area. Baka pwede rin yan sa sales, sa marketing, all those things. So, malaki yung room for improvement and room for projects, lalo na kung magpapatakbo ng Six Sigma. And hey, Six Sigma doesn't have to focus on one area lang naman. As much as possible, it could focus in many dimensions of your life. So, ito na nga. We could focus on many other departments. Kung babalikan natin, ano yung mga departments sa TQM, operations, customer service department, inventory management, sales, yan. Ang daming departments that you could tell. And here's what I like about using Six Sigma applied to my own personal life, not just in business. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking of knowing what do I need to improve. Honestly, knowing what do I need to improve. Okay, measuring it, maybe comparing, doing something about it. Because it doesn't have to be all about business. If your life was a business itself, yung buhay mo, isa siyang business, the business of being a good person, the business of living a good life is what your business is about. Maraming departments ng buhay mo. Ano yung mga departments? Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your work. I don't know, maybe it's your work-life balance, your hobbies. You could list all the departments that you could do. And we could tell na kung may problema man tayo sa buhay, hey, maybe the problem is not just one dimension of our life. Maybe it's something else that we didn't realize na nakaka-apekto sa atin. If we're stressed and we think the problem of stress is work, have we checked on our diet? Have we checked on our spirituality? Have we checked on our relationship? Maybe those are contributing. Now, if you have a mentality of business process control, diba? Trying to improve something always in your life, I'm not saying that you could fix things immediately, but you're always waking up to a day, may project ka na pwedeng pagalingin. Okay yun, class? Alright. Sige. So, yun na nga, the principle of total quality management. Going back, Six Sigma back to total quality management. It's customer focus. It's all about employee involvement. Okay? Process optimization. Ganyan na ganyan din Six Sigma. And lastly, continuous improvement. Ongoing effort to enhance the products. So, it will require business process improvement. Okay. Thank you, class.